Hi, I'm Jeremy with Jericho Home.
I'm Steven Machuca, also known as the Wood Pastor. Today we're going to show you how to build a record cabinet, and we're going to be using plywood, different widths, and we're going to paint and stain it. Very simple project, so we're going to get to cutting. So we made a cut list for this project, and we've pre-cut every piece for this whole project. Next thing you want to do is sand your pieces front to back. If you're buying cabinet grade, which is what you want to look for, it's pre-finished. So for paint or stain, you want to start around 150. For here, just to keep it consistent, we're going to go 180 on the front and the back, because this project will be painted on the inside and stained on the outside.
The router is probably one of my favorite tools. Here I'm using it to cut the channels in the plywood for the record cabinet doors. Before you attempt this on your finished piece, I would go ahead and draw it with a pencil on a scrap piece and then test it. Make sure that the bit is hitting the depth and the width that you want it to. After that, go ahead and try it on your finished piece.
So we painted the inside of both of the boxes before we assemble it, because you get a much cleaner finish whenever you assemble it, instead of having to reach in there and paint all the corners and your brush hitting the top and the bottom. And then also we went ahead and stained the doors ahead of time, because they're going to go together and fit in the grooves as we put the boxes together. So I have both the doors sitting here. They've been stained, and we're going to add a hole for your finger to just pull it across, because we have little slots cut for the doors to slide. What I'm going to use to make the hole is a Forstner bit, and you can use a drill. You can also use a drill press, but this is kind of more DIY, and I honestly use this a lot and it works just fine. Whenever you drill through, you want to put something behind it. You could do it on a workbench, but you're going to tear your workbench up, so I just put a scrap piece of plywood that I had, set it behind it, so whenever I drill through it, I'm hitting a scrap instead of my bench top. One thing to remember is make sure when you're assembling your boxes on this particular build that you put the doors inside the groove as you assemble the box, because it's going to be very difficult to fit that door, especially if you do two, inside the box after you assemble it. We bought the legs at a box store, a hardware store, because they're pre-made. They're actually solid hardwood, and they come with hardware that you attach to the base, and then you just screw it in. You can find these at almost any hardware store. I've used these on lots of projects, and they make doing legs very DIY for anybody.
Okay, well, here we are. We finally wrapped up our mid-century style record console here, and we're actually really pleased with it. It ended up being about 4 feet across, 29-30 inches high, and about 17 inches deep. It's going to fit lots of records. Record player's going to go on top. We think it turned out pretty cool.
One of my favorite things about the record player is that this is separate from the top. If you wanted to, you could attach it, but I like that it could come off and you can actually have just a lower. And then this was my first time to do these kind of doors with these grooves, and I really like them. It's just a 1/2 inch piece of plywood, and they slide really smooth. So it's really neat. You can hide stuff away, or you could leave a door open. If you have any questions about this build or any other build, you could message us, or you can check out gatorfinishing.com. Thanks so much for building with us.
Thank you.
That is a wrap.
And we would love to help you. I don't know what I'm saying.
Pastor out. Pastor out.